Hello, Ashina.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to be okay. And when I
Okay.
see you, I always okay, you know this.
Ravneet, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you so much for confirming that. Very warm welcome to all the dignitaries, respected personalities, and different participants from different colleges and universities from across the globe. We are yet ready with yet another day for International Summit UN Sustainable Development Goals. And today with us, we have three keynote speakers of the day. We are ready to hear them, to listen them with all the energy and the enthusiasm. Now I would like to invite Worthy Campus Director, Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujrati, Campus Director of KC Group of Institutions, to welcome all the keynote speakers today.
Good evening from India. It's the time of 4 o'clock, 4:10. And I welcome all the speakers in KC Group of Institution. We are going to organize. Today is our second day, and our speakers are with us. Dr. Ashina from Sakarya University of Applied Science, Turkey. Dr. Fatma from Maldives, and Dr. Farhan from Turkey. So our speakers are with us. Dr. Ashina is going to explain related with the SDG Goal 4. It is quality education, and everywhere in each country, every universities and higher education is focusing on quality education. As we know that UN has took the agenda in 2015 and to be completed up to 2030, and they are focusing on 17 goals. So this team, which is associated with Tradepreneur Global Academic Platform, which is the partner of UN, and last 4 years, all the teams are focusing and supporting voluntary on the SDG. And last year also, we have got a golden ambassador certificate from UN partner. And maybe this year also, my all the friends were going to get something special award. So let's see what they will send daily, what we are going and our team are working here, and I'm reporting them daily. So I welcome Dr. Ashina, Dr. Fatma, and Dr. Farhan in this event. Today they both are going to focus on SDG 4 and SDG 5. And we know that SDG 5 is a very important. It is related with the gender equality. And our these three speakers are focusing on gender equality. I welcome Professor Suman Vikrant, Vice Chancellor from APJ University, and all the participants, those who are here. Dr. Heidi Yogun, he is a Vice President of Tradepreneur Global Academic Platform, and Dr. Anil Kumar Pal from APJ University Registrar. I welcome all in this group. And today, our speakers are going to focus on SDG 4 and SDG 5. Welcome, Dr. Ashina, Dr. Fatma, and Dr. Farhan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So we are ready with our first speaker of the day, Dr. Asena Bozdas. She's an associate professor from Sakarya University of Applied Sciences, Sakarya, Turkey. She's going to talk about quality education. Dr. Bozdas' main area of work are security, conflict resolution, African security, conflicts and peace. She carries her academic studies into the project processes and is still a member of Afro-Turk Board of Directors and consultant of the 21st Century Turkey Institute. She is also the founding chairman of the Afro-Karya Student Community, which she founded within Sakarya University, and it consists of students from all over Africa. She has so many credits. She has so many national and international journals in different papers and journals. So we are ready to listen to her, Dr. Asena Bustas.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Thank you. I want to begin with the quality of education in Turkey because, as you know, Turkey has a very bad disaster in the near future. And at the same time, education is very, very important in all over the world, as we know. And quality education is also important in all over the world also. And SGD4 means quality education in all over the world due to the United Nations. And I want to present it firstly in generally. And while we are talking about quality education with the general perspective, we can say that the United Nations has recognized quality education as a key pillar for sustainable development. And it is reflected in Sustainable Development for SGD4, I mean. The goal is to ensure inclusive and equitable equality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all by 230. The significance of quality education cannot be overstated. It's fundamental human rights that enable individuals to lead a dignified life, and it is an essential driver of economic growth, social development, and poverty reduction also. Education empowers people to improve their lives and those of their communities, and it helps them to participate meaningfully in civic life and decision-making processes also. And achieving SGD4 requires a comprehensive approach that address the entire education ecosystem, from early childhood to adult learning. This includes improving access to education, enhancing the quality of education, and promoting equality and inclusivity in education. It also involves strengthening education system and building capacity for teachers, as well as ensuring that education is relevant to the needs of society and the labor market. And governments, civil society organizations, the private sector, and international organizations all have a role to play in advancing SGD4. Efforts must be made to increase investment in education. It is the most important thing for the governments also, as well as to ensure that resources are used effectively and efficiently. Partnerships are also critical to achieving. SGD4 as collaboration between different actors can help to leverage resources, expertise, and innovation. In conclusion, quality education is essential for achieving sustainable development and building a better future for all. SGD4 provides a roadmap for advancing education and lifelong learning opportunities, and it is up to all of us to work together to ensure that every person has access to quality education that empowers them to reach their full potential. Especially quality education needs to achieve women, as we know. I have to say this. And after that, while we are looking at the COVID-19 process, pandemic process, we can see some important points, milestones, maybe we can say that, ensuring inclusive and equitable equality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. For example, global learning crisis like the pandemics affects very badly to the equality education. For example, 147 million children missed over half of in-person instructions, and also 24 million learners pre-primary to university level may be never return to school in this period. So education is a lifeline for children in crisis. For example, 4 million children in Ukrainian children in the chaos of the world. We can see this, and it was very bad position. It's very bad position also, we can say. And while we talk about the crisis affect education, of course, the COVID-19 pandemics and all pandemics background of the history of the world has depended a crisis in education with severe disruptions in education systems worldwide. And also earthquake is a disaster affects Turkey education too in my country. So I wanted to talk about that because as you see how the education affected from the disaster and 11 city affected from this disaster, earthquake I mean, and also the education affected very badly. And SGD4, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education for all, is an important goal for Turkey's education system. Turkey has made significant progress in expanding access to education in recent years, with nearly universal enrollment in primary education and increasing enrollment in secondary and higher education. The Turkish education system consists of a three-level primary, secondary, and higher education. Primary education is compulsory and free for all children aged 6 to 14 years old and includes both elementary and middle school education. Secondary education is divided into two types, general education and vocational education. General education consists of a 4-year and high school program, while vocational education offers 3-year vocational high school programs and 2-year vocational training programs for graduate of primary school. And Turkey's education, I'm so sorry, Turkey's education system faces some challenges as the other countries. However, particularly in the areas of quality and equity, there is a need for greater investment in education infrastructure. Investment to do in education system is the most important thing all over the world. I have to say this again. And teacher training is also important, as well as efforts to reduce disparities in access to education across region and socioeconomic groups. Additionally, there is a need to ensure that education is inclusive and responsive to the needs of all students, including those with disabilities and those from marginalized communities. To address these challenges and meet the targets of SGD4, Turkey has developed a number of education policies and initiatives. These include efforts to expand access to early childhood education, increase the quality of teacher training and professional development, and improve the quality of education through curriculum reform and increased use of technology in the classroom. Additionally, Turkey has implemented policies aimed at reducing disparities in access to education across regional and socioeconomic groups, such as programs to provide financial support for low-income families and those living in the rural areas also. And overall, Turkey has made significant progress in expanding access to education and improving the quality of education in recent years. However, there is still much work to be done in ensuring that education is inclusive and equitable for all students and to meet the targets of the SGD4. And to adopt SGD4 quality education for Turkey, there are several steps that can be taken. Yeah, I want to talk about steps. Increase investment in education, is the first step. Turkey can increase its budget allocation for education to ensure that schools, teachers, and educational resources are adequately funded. This can include investing in a new school buildings and equipment, increasing teacher salaries, and providing educational resources such as books, technology, and laboratory equipments. Adequate funding can be also to help reduce class sizes, which can improve the quality of education for all students, address the regional disparities. The second part, Turkey can address regional disparities in education to ensuring that schools in remote and disadvantaged areas are adequately funded and staffed. This can include providing transportation to and from school for students to remote areas, providing initiatives for teachers to work in these areas, and investing in technology to improve access to educational resources. And the other one, the third one, improve teacher training. Improving teacher training is the thirdly important. Turkey can invest in the professional development of teachers by providing training programs, mentoring, and ongoing professional development opportunities. This can help teachers to develop the skills and knowledge needed to deliver and quality education to their students and keep up with the latest research and best practices in education. And the fourthly, enhance curriculum and pedagogy. And Turkey can review and update its curriculum and pedagogy to ensure that they are allied with the latest resource and best practices in education. This can include incorporating technology into the classroom and providing project-based learning opportunities and promoting critical thinking and problem-solving skills also, and promote inclusivity and diversity is the fifth one. In this period, Turkey can promote inclusively and diversity in education by ensuring that all children, regardless of their background or abilities, have access to quality education. This can include providing support for children with special needs, promoting gender equality, and ensuring that the education is available in minority languages. The sixth one, encourage private sector involvement. Turkey can encourage private sector involvement in education by providing incentives for private sector investment in education. This can include tax incentives, grants, and other financial supports to private sector educational initiatives. Private sector involvement can be new ideas and resources to education and help to improve access to quality education for all children in the country. By adapting these steps, Turkey can work towards achieving SGD4 quality education and ensure that all the children in the country have access to quality education that prepares them for their future. And quality education for Turkey, SGD4, aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. In Turkey, the Ministry of National Education, we say MEP, is responsible for implementing education policies and ensuring access to education for all citizens. The Turkish educational system is divided into three levels. We can say this before, as you know. Primary education, grades 1 to 4, secondary education 5 to 8, and high school education grades 9 to 12. Primary and secondary education are compulsory and free for all children between the ages 6 to 18. In addition, Turkey has made significant progress in improving access education for girls and women, and currently has a higher enrollment rate for girls in primary and secondary education. One of the major education policies in Turkey is this year vision and 2022 23, which aims to modernize and improve the quality of education in the country. The plan focuses on improving teacher quality. Teacher quality is the more important than the others, as you know. Increasing access to technology, of course, important, and increasing the number of students who go on to pursue higher education. Another important policy is the new basic education program. Turkey are uses now, and which has introduced in how many years? I think 10 years before. The program aims to provide a more student-centered and achieved learning environment with a focus on critical thinking and problem-solving skills. However, there are still challenges in Turkish educational system that need to be addressed. These include the quality of education in rural areas where schools often lack resources and qualified teachers. There is also a need to improve vocational education and training programs to better prepare students for the workforce. In conclusion, while the Turkey has made progress in improving access to education and implementing education policies, there is still work to be done to ensure that all students have access to quality education and lifelong learning opportunities in line with SGD4. And at the end, the importance of quality education cannot be overstated. It is a fundamental human rights that enables individuals to lead a dignified life, and it is an essential driver of economic growth and social development and poverty reduction. Education empowers people in improve their lives and those of communities, and it helps the participate meaningfully in civic life and decision-making process we told about, and achieving the SGD4, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, requires a comprehensive approach that addresses to entire education system from early childhood to adult learning. This includes improving access to education and enhancing the quality of education and promoting quality and exclusivity in education. It also involves strengthening education systems and building capacity for teachers, as well as ensuring the education is relevant to the needs of society and the labor market. Governments, civil society organizations, the private sector, and the international organizations all have a role to play in advancing SGD4. Efforts must be made to increase investment in education, as well as that I said before, and I want to say this again, as well as ensure.
So thank you so much, ma'am. First, Dr. Asena Bostas from Turkey. She talked about quality education. Now, another speaker in the row with us is Dr. Fatmat Mona from Director General Maldives Media Council, Maldives. She's going to talk about gender equality. Dr. Fatmat Mona joined the Maldives government in 2005 and has worked in the public sector for more than 17 years. She currently holds the position of Director General and in charge of Management Service Department of Maldives Media Council. She worked in different government ministries and is pursuing her PhD of philosophy in management business. Okay. Her thesis titled as Factor Affecting to Recruitment and Selection Practice on Performance of Civil Services Organization in Maldives. Her goal is to be an independent and empowered woman who breaks down barriers and other roadblocks to get out of the nutshell. So, here with us, Dr. Fatma Muna.
Thank you so much, Ranvit. Uh, she has given a very good introduction about me. And first of all, I would like to thank you all. And it's really nice to see you all in this platform. Maybe we have seen in different other platforms. I'm not sure, but it's really nice to see you again. And warm greetings to all. Let me share my presentation here. It's visible now? Can see, right? Okay. Yeah. First, I would like to give you first, I want to thank you, Professor Gujarati, for giving us this opportunity. She is creating a really a great platform for this SDG goal. We are sharing our thoughts and we are representing our countries here. So it's really nice platform. And thank you so much, Professor Gujarati, for doing all this work. And well, my presentation is women representation and their empowerment in the context of Modi's police service law enforcement and sector. This is the research that the qualitative research that I have done very recently. This research is focused on the public police sector. Rather than speaking about whole context of Modi's, I'll be focusing this presentation on specific context to Modi's police service. In this presentation, I will be talking about this, gender equality and the findings that I have got for the research. Well, we all know that every country has the gender inequality. In 2019, World Bank report has stated that Maldives is in 82 ranking. Maldives is in 82 ranking out of 162 countries. That means in 82 ranking, we are having the gender inequality, so which is a high rate, right? So this is something that we need to be very considerate. Well, Maldives Police Service has a high disparity in gender equality in decision-making level and also career development. However, impacts of gender equality on discrimination, stereotypes, and social influence on women's standing in society. There is a significant gap in professional progress and women empowerment in Maldives police service law enforcement sector. The main objective of this study is to understand the background study and fill the research gap. And as I have mentioned earlier, this is the study that I have done very recently. So let me pick up the problem statement. Regrettably, one major obstacle in the society to empowering women in the underrepresentation of women in leadership positions in the police service sector. Because it's more like 5,000 people are working in police service sector, but very few women are working in high positions in there. This exploratory study examines the important research and the knowledge gaps. And full employment, decent jobs, and women empowerment, including unequal pay. But in Maldives, we don't have that much, pay disparity. Rather, we have the disparity in the high, decent jobs. Women's roles and performance related gap. When we talk about this women empowerment or the inequality, we have noticed and found that different authors have mentioned different research studies. In likewise 2022, Tesoli has mentioned that Techia's research exclusive methods are employed in the government sector to strategically fill professional and leadership roles. The same way 2000 Raskin have mentioned that performance-based compensation makes it difficult to trace the pay trends and can obscure places, workplace disparities. In 2021, RISA have mentioned that to promote gender equality, the Modi's government passes the Gender Equality Act. In Modi's, we have Gender Equality Act, which was implemented in 2016. Still, we are facing these difficulties, which guarantees women rights, though equal opportunities for women and men. Though we are facing this in different sectors. In 2020, female entrepreneurs in OECD countries such as the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the South Korea will account for more than 11% of entrepreneurs, demonstrating the gender equality. So it is not only Modi's. In different countries, we have these disparities. Certain vocations in the Modi's, such as women in policing, political involvement, tourism industry jobs, security officers, divers, and drivers, nurses have been gender restricted since olden history. It is not only today, which means we have this in long ago in our history. Special, sectors are there. It is more in gender inequality is there. There is tourism sector, security officer jobs, driver jobs, and nurse, and these kinds of jobs we have, gender disparity. But in Modi's police service, it is not exceptional. In this sector also has a high gender disparities. The government must support and construct a framework for this. And then 2022, Kelohad, he has mentioned that women capacity building, gender equality, and representation in the decision-making level is important. Let me talk about the findings that I have come up with this study. In this study, it has been noticed that, as I have mentioned, 5,000, above 5,000 police officers are there in Modi's police service sector. But, in the superintendent of police level, that is the highest ranking, but only 3 female are representing in there. Inspector of police, in this rank, only 2 female are representing. All others are male. And we have more than 20 atolls, and then we have atoll commanders, each atoll. But sadly, in Modi's police sector, as an atoll commander, only 5 female are representing. Chief Inspector Officer, only 4 female are representing currently. So these results have shown from data has gathered from different departments like atoll or police stations, regional police stations, high visibility police department, Huruma, the neighbor police, head of international relations, investigation, development, criminal justice, fraud investigation unit, serious and organizing crime department unit, anti-human trafficking department, regional commander, family and gender affairs department, strategy planning and development, local policy improvement, and police media center. These are the departments that who have participated for this research study. So we have done focus groups discussions and then one-to-one interviews. Through that, this is the result that we have found. So we came to know that there is a huge gender disparities in this sector. And also the respondents who mentioned that most of the people who hold the highest positions are more than 15 years. They have worked in the sector more than 15 years. So which means it's, to work a high rank in Modi's police service sector, they have to work maybe in their lifetime to get the highest position in there. So this shouldn't be the way that we need to. These are some of the highlights that I'm going to share. Mostly, most of the respondents were highlighted that glass ceiling, mandatory training program, and hierarchical layers. This is the one obstacle that they face because due to the family obligations, they are unable to finish abroad training programs to meet the requirement for the higher positions. In that sector, it is the must and the requirement for fulfilling the training program in abroad. So this became the obstacle to the gender, women, those who have family responsibilities. So because of this, they are not able to work in the higher rank. Influential meeting impacts for promotion. Men and women, we have a different ways of living, right? So we have our own responsibilities. At home, we have to take our own family responsibilities. But rather, men, they tend to go out so frequently. So they are more often to engage in unofficial meetings, socializing, mingling, in casual coffee tables, choices, which results a bias favorism in promotion benefits for men. Rather than having a promotion to women, they are getting more benefits for that. Inadequate infrastructures in Atoll police station, as I have mentioned earlier stage, previous slide, they need to fill certain requirements, right? And also, police Atoll commanders, only 5 people are working as a woman, right? Because of these challenges, due to their high level of family responsibilities, they are reluctant to take the role of Atoll commander positions because of the environment that they have to stay and work, and this becomes a big obstacle to them. And this is another obstacle that get promotions, lack of promotions, and social norms and beliefs and judgments. Difficult for women to handle. They are, male representatives who works in higher positions. They think that the women are less to handle the scenarios, including high crimes and other challenging situations. So they are having a different thinking towards the women. Stereotype bias and negative mindsets. Male in charge lack confidence in their abilities, outcomes, and the results of women, and obstacles in getting promotions due to the lack of training opportunities, as I have mentioned earlier, overseas due to the insufficient percentage of allocations for women. But because of their family responsibilities and also other factors are there, and because many high level position managers or the male managers, because of their thinking, they don't allocate a specific percentage for women to give the opportunities for overseas trainings to them. And also, when concluding this, we should say that promote gender equality is something that we need to be very considered. The government have to be, need to give more importance to these matters and allocate specific percentage when electing people for the particular positions, especially in the high ranking positions. So accountable to access transparency, confirm their commitments to address a gender gap in the talent management by posting annual reports on their official website could help to mitigate this strategic hierarchy, hiring structure, determine the specific percentage of female representations in managerial positions. This strategy has to be implemented, and adopting alternative choices for promotions. In this sector, there is a lot of barriers, challenges for the getting promotions or getting the training programs. This is something that they need to be adapted in their sector. Alternative options should be there. Conquer the ceilings and barriers for promotion while avoiding the barriers and factors that affect women welfare. Implications for this study could be establish the platform for social awareness program. They could establish the platform that is to have the social awareness programs like mentoring events and workshops for college graduates and school leavers in terms of forming their characters, attitudes, intelligence, and practical knowledge, rather than keeping for 20 to or 30 years to get a promotion. They can do these awareness programs and make people, aware of that. Establishing a formal preventing mechanisms, adopt better strategies when shortlisting individuals for overseas short-term training programs, abide by the ethical considerations, and ensure to provide all police officers with fair opportunities, whether that is men or women, there should be a fair opportunity to everyone. Double standard promotion also there. So put in a place inclusive monitoring system for gender equality rather than giving the political interest parties for promotions for them, for giving them promotion. It is important to analyze their works and having a good mechanism for monitoring system and then give the promotions to every gender equally. Adopt fairness affirmations within the policymakers, leaders, and the male-dominated mindsets. Avoid from choosing individuals for leadership or management level positions based on the bias, stereotypes, and choices made in informal context. So that's all I'm going to talk about in this presentation. Thank you so much. And I really feel privileged to give a presentation like this in this platform. And thank you all for being a part of this, initiative, and especially Professor Dr. Gujarati for again having this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So it was Dr. Fatmat Munaf from Maldives. She talked about gender equality. Now in the row next with us, our next keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujarati. Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujarati is a professor in management and campus director at KC Group of Institutions, Navashehar. And she is international visiting professor of the California Institute of Behavioral Sciences, US, and Tomori Paul College, Hungary. She has participated and conducted over 200 international management conferences, and she is editor-in-chief of international journals and regulatory board member of scientific and review committee. So here she's going to talk about certain issues today with us. Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujarati.
Thank you very much to calling me. Today with us, Dr. Rashina has given on SDG Goal 5 and Dr. Fatma has focused on gender equality. And today all the speakers are female. So here I'm also interested to give some presentation related with gender equality. As we know that gender equality is not only a fundamental human rights, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. There has been progress over the last decades, but the world is not only the track achieve gender equality by 2030. If we see at the time of the COVID-19 pandemic has made the situation even bleaker. Progress in many areas, including time spent on unpaid care or domestic work or decision making regarding sexual and reproductive health and gender responsive budget is falling behind. Women's health services, already poorly funded, have faced major disruptions. Violence against women's leadership is responding to COVID-19. They still trail men in securing the decision-making positions they deserve. So there is a required to give the position to the same for female. Here I am going to present my presentation related with goal 5, how the women are working and how women are empowered. So myself, Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujarati from KC Group of Institution, Navashehar. As we are talking related with the UN SDG 5, is my PPT is visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Hello. Yeah. So we are here to discuss related with the SDG goal 5 and it is related with the gender equality, and we were talking that the position should be given to both equal. But if I talk about the ancient India in the during time, we can see that women had high social and religious status. In India, women are getting a higher position. If I say about the Vedic literature or Vedic period, women were imparted in the Vedic education, used to take part in religious rites. They were also author of certain Vedic hymns. Women of that age were capable of learning and understanding philosophical doctrine. In Vedic age, women remain unmarried for higher study. The women are educated, higher position, highly appreciated in Artha Veda also. And if I go more behind, then we knows about the Manu. It has emphasized that it was the duty of the parents to give her daughter a actual position and a right education, so the woman can get a right position. However, there was a gradual decline in the female education during later Vedic age. So behind Buddha's age, we can see that the women's are literacy as a crime. They allow women to recite, hear, and learn by heart religious discourses. But women had lower status to men. Then the point has been raised that the equality should be given to the woman. So there is a question that need of women empowerment. Why need women empowerment when we say that women are worshipped as a goddess in India? And then also they are not getting a good position or a right position. Women are deprived of decision making power because the society is not giving the same equality to the women to giving to making the decision power. They are not giving them the freedom of the movement. They are not able to get a higher education, access of the employment, and they are getting the exposure from the media and the domestic violence. But require is that women need these all things freely. Nowadays, slowly, this is be removed from the society and women are in the empower and getting. But we have to give these rights to each and every woman, those who deserve. Where the women are lacking, we have to understand that the lack of the education, maybe the traditional view, which are limit participation, financial constraints, family responsibility, low mobility, low ability to bear risk, low social status, or conflict among women groups. These all points are there. With that, the women are in the behind and they are not getting their right position. So what they need, there is a 6S for women for the empowerment, and we have to see that if we provide a good education to the women, then they can be in the empowerment. If the health of the woman is good, if they are self-reliant, if they have a power to take a decision, they are related, they take a justice, they have a sensitivity and equality, then women should be in the empowerment. So to be successful woman has to be much better at her job than a man. We fundamentally believe that we will make better business decisions if we have diversity in thinking, and that requires equal gender participation. So the require of the woman is in each every sector. What is the position in 2019? If we go and see, then in 2019, women are only held 28% of managerial position worldwide. This was the result of the 2019. If we see that globally cannot afford to wait for gender equality, there is a requirement to give the position. And then if we are talking and if we are saying that the women empowerment should be there, the gender equality should be there. Now, slowly, the scenario has been going to change and the women are coming in the power. If I talk about my organization has given the opportunity to the women to hold the higher position. As a woman, I am also holding a higher position, and we have good women groups in our campus, and they are getting a good position, and we are decision maker. Now the questions comes that why this required when we talk that in the ancient time, women are empowered, women are getting a good position, and in our India also the women are worshipped as a god. But we have to understand that some successful stories are also with us, and the women are in each and every sector, and the women leaders are in each and every sector. If we go behind and see that, here you can see that women are the leader of their country. Angela Merkel, she was a chancellor of Germany. As a woman, she is leading the country. Helle Thorning, he was the former prime minister of Denmark. And Indira Gandhi, everybody knows that as a prime minister, she has hold the India prime ministership. So women are leader. I don't know that where we are lacking. So we required, and the UN have to took agenda only due to some people, those who don't give the opportunity to the women's. The women, some women required the raise voice that they want the equality. If we see in the entrepreneur, many of the peoples can recognize the faces, those I have given here, that they are a woman entrepreneur and they are holding the good position. Some of them you may recognize them like the Vandana Luthra. He is the founder of the VLCC. He is a big entrepreneur and running his business. Indu Jain, chairperson of Times of India. Indra Noni, Pepsi chairman, everybody knows that she is handling that. Kiran Mazumdar knows the name, very popular. Priya Paul, the Park Hotel. Ritu Kumar, fashion designer. Shehnaz Hussain, Herbals, and Suchi Mukherjee, Lime Road. Richa Kar, Jivame, and Aditi Gupta, Menstrutia. So these all women are doing their business and they are running their business very well, and they were recognized as a woman entrepreneur. Here is a woman entrepreneur, a man who belongs from a village of Gujarat from Kutch, and she started her business with a small work, and she later on she become a woman entrepreneur. If not international people can recognize, but those who are from India, they have listened the name of Lijjat Papad. Lijjat Papad company was also started by a woman. Only one woman has started, and slowly, women's group has been gathered, and they have run their business and they developed their business. So women are getting a right position. They have equal rights to get the position which the mans are getting. So when we talk about the entrepreneurship, we can see that a lot of the women are working. Now, when I talk about the social entrepreneurship, some questions come in our mind that who does not want to be a rich? I think that all the people, those who are here and attending this conference, everybody want to become a rich. Who does not want to be a successful? Anybody is here who think that I would not be a successful? All person, those who are in the working or in the business or any other sector, everybody want to become a successful person. So the questions come that all want to become a rich, all want to become a successful. Then already I have mentioned that nobody is there. But can we help to improve the situation for the people around us? This is the main question, that if we want to become a rich or successful, then we have to understand that are we help to improve the situation of the people which is around us. It can be, yes, it is possible. Now the question comes, how? The answer is entrepreneurship. If you want to become a rich, if you want to become a successful person, then you can be a adopt entrepreneurship. Now, in which area that you have to understand, you can look at the e-commerce, you can go to the door-to-door delivery of the food, you can start business, medicines, festivals, seasons, homemade sweets, etc. So with this, I have given this presentation that women are everywhere and women's leaders are already ruled on their countries. So point is here that the requirement, yeah. So the point comes that we required gender equality, and what I have shown you that women are working in each and every sector, and they are running a business. Great entrepreneurs are there. So we have to give the right positions to the women. And lot of time we see that many of the places there is a domestic violence. Due to that domestic violence, the voice has been raised to give the gender equality, because many of the places, many of the countries are facing this situation, and many of the countries are not giving the right position to the women. That is why the point has been raised. So at the time of the COVID-19, we have seen that a lot of women have started their business also, and they have been become a successful person. With that, I would like to give a message that already women are in the empowerment. Already lot of the countries has started to give a right position to the women's. They are giving a good education to the women's. They are giving a right position to the women in each and every sector. We cannot say that this work cannot be done by the women. All the works can be done by the women. So with this SDG Goal 5, we give the message to our society that give the opportunity, give the right opportunity to the students, to the genders equality in our society, so they can get a right position. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So here today we heard different three keynote speakers from across the globe, from which the first one was Dr. Asina Boztas, and the next was Dr. Fatmet Muna, and then we heard Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujrati. So stay tuned for more such sessions tomorrow. We will have more such speakers from across the globe, and we can hear and listen them about their viewpoints on SDGs. Thank you so much for being a part of this seminar today. Thank you so much to all the participants, all the personalities and benevolent people who are present here in these presentations throughout. Thank you so much. From on behalf of the management of KC Group of Institution and our worthy campus director, Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujrati, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the participants here. Thank you.
Yeah, we have given one feedback form. Please fill it. And Dr. Ahmed, welcome. You have joined us today.
Thank you so much, Prof. Rashmi. Thank you, Prof. Hari. I was trying to join afternoon, but the link was not open with me, so I was trying, and then I get help from Dr. Muna. Then now I am okay here.
Okay. Okay. It's a very nice to meet you here, all of you. And I think
Thank you.
that we are trying to support this UN Sustainable Development Goal. And without your all support, this event cannot be success. So my big thanks to all my dear friends around the world, because all are from different countries. You are from Jordan and Malaysia and Jeong from South Korea, Dr. Heidi Yashina from Turkey, and other friends from India and other countries have joined this event. I think that SDG is a very important to understand sustainable goals, and every year we all are trying to focusing and trying to spread the awareness of all goals from 1 to 17. Last year also we all have work on it. Last to last year also we have work on it. Last year also we have focus on all the SDG goals. This year also we are focusing and hope continuously up to 2030 till the agenda we will try to spread this message, and we will try that how we can complete this task and we become sustainable. So without your speakers' help, this will be not completed. So thank you very much for giving your time to listen to you and spreading this SDG goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Rashmi. Thank you so much.
too.
Thank you, Prof. Hasina.
Thank you. Bye-bye.